Hi! Okay, so this is so exciting. My name is Julia. I'm on Instagram as ThisNerdKnits. And this is my first ever knitting podcast. I've been recently watching a whole lot of Hey Sisters podcast. I've become a little bit obsessed with it, and it gave me the idea to start my own podcast. So here I am. I guess I'll just start telling you a little bit about why I started knitting. So when I was young, my grandma taught me to knit, and then I didn't knit for a lot of years. And then I went to college, and I go to college in Vermont. It's pretty cold there, and it's the perfect place to knit. So I started up again, and I have not been able to stop since. Right now, I'm studying abroad in Chile, so it's been a little bit weird adjusting to the yarn system here and figuring out how to buy yarn. And that's something I'll probably talk about in a later podcast. But yeah, so that's what I'm up to. I'll jump right in by showing you some of my finished objects. This was the first finished object that I had in Chile, which is where I'm studying abroad. I think I said that. Here you go. It is a hat. It is by a pattern by Jo Story Knits. It's her Suffolk hat. And here, I'll put it on so you can see. It's actually my second time knitting this pattern. And I'm really sorry, I've been really bad about keeping track of what yarn I've been using. So I don't actually know the name for this yarn. I promise I'll try to be better about it. But so this is the Suffolk. This is Suffolk by Jo Story Knits. I had to alter the pattern a little bit because I did not buy enough yarn. So I just kind of cut it a little short, but it ended up working out really well. I really like this hat, and I got a lot of compliments on it. So that's my first finished object since I've been in Chile. The next one I'm going to show is also a hat, and I'm really, really excited about it. Sorry about that, got pulled away for a second, but oh yeah, so I'm really excited about this. It's not necessarily the most exciting hat, but I'm excited about it because it's the first pattern I've ever designed. So here you go. You can see that. I'll put it on. I really like it. It's super cozy, fun. I know the brand of yarn for this. I don't know the colors, but I can get the brand. So it's this Petunia Sultan. It's from Turkey, which is really cool. This is in another colorway because I was hoping to do another version of this with some other colors, play around with it a little bit. I also, to go along with this, tried to design my own mitten pattern. It did not go so well. Here it is. As you can see, it's super thin. So I can put it on my hand. Oh, hold on, I'm wearing a bracelet. Take that off. I can put it on my hand, but it's super tight. So this is the first, and I can fold it up too, which I played around with a little bit. So this is the first iteration of my pattern. I just gotta alter it. The thumb is way too big, the hand is way too small. But yeah, I'm just gonna fiddle around a little bit. It's been really fun trying to figure this out. This new side of knitting. And I have one more finished object, which is also a big first for me. I did my first test knit pattern. It was for Knititude, and it was her no seam sweater dress. She's absolutely lovely. All the other women who were test knitting were so wonderful, and I love the finished product. Here, hopefully you can see that a little bit. It looks really great on. I'm a big fan. I got a lot of compliments. I'll put up a picture of what it looks like on so you can see that. My dress came out a little longer than other people's. I think it had to do a little bit with the yarn I was using, and also my gauge was right at the beginning, but it ended up being a little off. So I think that had to do with it, but I absolutely love the dress. I love the longer length and the shorter length, and it was a wonderful experience. So that's all my finished objects. Now I'll talk a little bit about my works in progress. Oh, it's not all my finished objects. Sorry, it's all my finished knitted objects. But this past weekend, I was in a weaving workshop. It was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it was my first time weaving. I got my own loom, which is going to be interesting, having to transport back to the U.S. But it was absolutely wonderful. I made a scarf, which is my first ever woven project. You can see here. The yarn here, I don't know the name of either, but it's because we got it as part of the workshop and they didn't give us the information about it. And the workshop was called Amor por el telar, which translates as love for the loom. And so here you go. My scarf, I'm very excited. This is the first project. The second project was to make weave your own cushion. Here, woven and sewn up as well by me. I'm not a great sewer, so it was an interesting experience, but I think I did a pretty good job. So yeah, so this was a really fun project because it was a little more creative. Here you go. And you can see it goes inside too. And then the third project is actually a work in progress. So I'll use that to start my work in project, my whip section. It's a poncho. So here it is. It's still a work in progress because I need to finish adding the fringe. So when I'm done with that, I'll show you the final product. It's not necessarily a color that I'm really going to wear a lot, but it was definitely fun to work with. Okay, and my next work in progress is the Dreams of Aaron sweater by Drops Design. I had a little bit of trouble with the pattern at first, but I think I've gotten it now. I have not made that much progress, but you can see this is what it looks like so far. Oh, this is the inside. This is what it looks like so far. I've started the cabling, and it's going to be a present for my dad. I wanted to do an Aaron type of sweater for him, but I also wanted it to be kind of special because I'm in Chile right now, so the yarn that I'm using is 100% wool, Chilean wool. So here. The brand. It doesn't have a name for the color, but it's the information about it. And so, yeah, I think he's really going to like the sweater. I hope so, at least. So that's all for now. Those are my works in progress, my finished objects. I'm really excited to start this. And I don't know. I hope it's going to be really fun. Bye.